Rio Hondo Prep Football is one of the best kept secrets in all of Southern California. As one of the smallest enrollments year in and year out, the Cares have won 14 CIF championships and have been one of the most successful programs throughout their history. Welcome to A Charge to Keep, the official podcast of Rio Hondo Prep Football. And now, bringing you the latest news and content from his alma mater, a CIF champion in 2001. From the class of 2003, here's your host, Matt Ursima.
What's up, Rio Hondo Prep football fans? Happy 2023 to you. We had an episode a few weeks ago honoring the girls basketball team in their start of their playoff run. Unfortunately, their season did end, but we have new content as promised here for the 2023 football season, as this podcast is dedicated to Rio Hondo football, and we'll chime in here and there to talk about girls basketball or maybe baseball, softball, volleyball even. But as you guys know, this podcast is all about Rio Hondo football. And even though it is February, almost March here, we do have some huge 2023 football news that we want to get to today. Just to kind of get everyone excited for the season. We are less than 6 months away from the kickoff to the 2023 season, as the Cares will be playing week 0 this year on August 18th. So February 18th has passed. We are almost to March. The countdown has officially begun to a new football season. And we're going to bring today on the show head coach Mark Carson to talk to us about some breaking news regarding the 2023 season. This is the official episode, the official schedule release episode, we'll say, for the 2023 season that will start and kick off here in August, as I mentioned. You see, maybe on the NFL Network sometimes or college football, they release their schedules and such, and it's a big deal, right? So I thought, let's have a schedule release show here on the Charge to Keep podcast so that we can get you guys not only excited about the season, but also to perhaps plan your schedule around the schedule. You know, we all have work days and vacation days and sick days and things we got to plan around. So let's start planning that accordingly, and maybe writing down on the calendar a game or two you can get to that, you know, the Cares, whether they're at home or they're on the road. Maybe they come to you, you live in Orange County, or you live out in the Inland Empire, wherever you live, and maybe the Cares come to you and you may not have known it. But this show is to let you guys know all 10 of the Rio Hondo games for the upcoming season, and to circle them on your calendar, put them in your phone, whatever you do, so there is no excuse to missing any of the games next year and getting out to a game if maybe the Cares are in your neighborhood. For our out-of-state fans, this will be an opportunity for you guys to still put those games on the calendar and be ready for your Friday night lights to tune in on the NFHS network. And it's hard to believe it's been, 3 months basically since the Rio Hondo season ended on that playoff game at Norwalk High School. But here we are, a new year, 2023. The basketball programs have had their seasons. We're into the spring now with baseball, softball, and boys volleyball, but you guys know that football is always right around the corner. So we're going to bring on Coach Carson today to break down the schedule, all 10 games. You guys know the league Rio Hondo is in, and kind of those 3 games are always set in stone, but there's some new opponents on the schedule this year, some fresh faces, we'll say, maybe some names that ring a bell as well. And I'm really excited for this, for you guys to see this and to get fired up for August 18th. Summer is around the corner, and before you know it, all the vacations and things are done. Rio Hondo, the boys are going on a summer trip this year. So we'll talk to Coach maybe a little bit about that. But today is all about the 2023 schedule release. So let's dive into it. I'm excited to bring back Coach Carson and kick off another football season here, although we will be probably talking some baseball, softball, and volleyball here in the next few months. Let's break out those pens, get out those calendars, those date books, and let's make note of the 10 best Friday nights of the year with head coach Mark Carson, the 2023 football schedule special episode release. All right, I'm now joined once again by the head football coach of Rio Hondo Prep, Mark Carson. What's going on, man? I know it's February, Coach, almost March, but it's never too early to start talking Rio Hondo football.
That's right. Happy to be inside. Nice and warm in here. And in the middle of baseball season, but we're getting ready for football.
Absolutely. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, right, Coach?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Mark, it's kind of football weather here in Southern California the past few days with a lot of rain, very chilly. So I think people bundled up at home. This, I don't know, this might be a good time to release the schedule and get people fired up about the football season.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah. Like you said, we're full on in baseball, but people don't realize your schedules are done 6-7 months in advance. And so we've actually had it done for a little bit here. Hasn't been released though to the public. Not on Max Preps yet. Max Preps hasn't released them yet either. So this is news for everybody.
Absolutely. And we try to keep all the fans informed here on the podcast. And we do have a little delay here on Zoom for those listening. Just going to have to bear through it with us here. We'll try to get through this, but this podcast is all about Rio Hondo football. We are going to give some love to the other sports. We did a girls basketball podcast last month or a few weeks ago. Baseball and softball and volleyball are going. And you know what, Coach Carson, I happened to see a few of your student athletes on Friday night representing themselves quite well in the Rio Hondo Prep production Peter Pan, some acting on stage. I was rather impressed with your student athletes.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And this is Cindy Corsini, JT Parker, that whole crew there. They do a great job. Danielle Cipriano, a big part of that. Dominique Parker is a big part of it. They do a great job with that show, and they always recruit some of our guys to be in the show, and it's all volunteer, and it means that a lot of extra work and late nights preparing, especially in the build up to the show. But it makes it more fun for everyone to go watch when they know some of the kids on stage. And Friday night, I know you were there. I was there last night, and it was a really good show. Good time had by all. They do a great job.
Yeah, for sure. And again, just speaking to the Rio Hondo Prep, well, student athlete, yes, but specifically the football program. When you come to Rio Hondo Prep, you're going to get that unique experience. You're going to play defensive end and then be an extra pirate for the Peter Pan play and play an instrument. You're going to do it all at Rio Hondo.
Yeah, you get a chance to do everything and really have that well-rounded experience. I'm thinking that we might send some of this video of Ryan McCullough on stage in a pirate costume to his Cal coaches if they ever need to blackmail him to do anything or anything.
He was fantastic in that. And, he's definitely, heads taller than everyone out there, especially the young ladies. And then, Josh Tafflinger, I don't know if he's been in the weight room or what, but he looks like he's gotten a little bigger and he's chomping at the bit for his senior year.
Yeah, he's gotten bigger. He's maybe grown an inch or two, and everyone bulks up. So yeah, Josh is going to be a force next year for sure.
Can't wait. And just briefly, Mark, if you touch on it, since I have you here before we dive into the football schedule, you're working with JT Parker on the baseball program. You're the athletic director, so you have kind of a finger on the pulse of all the sports programs. But talk to me about the early results of the baseball season and maybe any other sports if you want to mention them.
Yeah, we're off and running in spring. We have 2 baseball teams, 2 boys volleyball teams, and then 2 girls softball teams. And all the teams have played a few games and doing okay. Our baseball team's 1-2. Had 1 game rained out already. Supposed to play on Tuesday. Hopefully it doesn't rain. We can play on Tuesday. Our volleyball team's well underway. They played in a tournament, Monrovia tournament, a local tournament. I think they finished in 6th, but did okay in that. And then our girls softball team, they had their first game, played Azusa, and that was less than a week after finishing basketball playoffs. So they're still a little rusty, but they'll get back after it. And then our JV girls softball and JV boys baseball, they're underway as well. So everyone's doing something, and we just got weather to operating so we can get these games in.
I remember, again, we were freshmen or sophomore, your first year coaching high school, and it was kind of cold and rainy like this at the start of baseball. And one thing you had us do was the Jim Edmonds drill, where you'd shoot the fly balls deep to us, and we'd try to dive over the shoulder and catch it, get wet and muddy. And that was a great memory of mine. So I don't know if that's on the agenda for the teams this year, but that was a fond memory of me back in the day.
Yeah, we might do it if, it looks like it might rain 3 days. And so we'll see. We might do something fun like that, or get out the slip and slide and practice or something, make it fun. But yeah, the challenge on rainy games, just a little inside baseball for everybody. And as AD, I get firsthand of this. You get a game rained out. It's not just like, all right, let's replay it again. You got to find a time that makes sense for both schools. You got to cancel the officials you had coming. You got to get new officials. The other team, who, depending on who's traveling, has to arrange their transportation. It's a lot that goes into it. And so we play if at all costs, we try to get the game in because it's just a headache to try to reschedule because you have other games that you're playing, right? And so you can't just, and you start scheduling on top of other games and so forth. So it's a mess. This rain's a mess. So, but everyone's in the same boat.
Well, that's why you make that big athletic director salary, coach, on top of your head coaching job. Hey, it's in your hands, and you're doing a great job. I do want to dive into the football season here. For the future of the podcast, you and I have talked off air. We are going to be doing a lot when summer hits. With I'll stockpile some interviews and have some interviews done of coaches, former players, things like that. But you guys are going on a summer trip this year. Tell me about kind of the time frame, and does that affect your season preparation at all now that it is a summer trip year?
Yeah, so we leave June 7th, get back July 2nd, about 3.5 week summer trip to the East Coast. Guys are really looking forward to that. Baseball ends and volleyball ends first week in May. And so depending on the playoffs and how far you go, we might have 2 or 3 weeks of football to be able to practice before we go on the trip. We've already got, we're in 2 7-on-7s at Los Altos High School before we go on the trip, 2 little mini tournaments, which will be fun. And then when we get back, it's really just, we give the guys some time off. And then we will have them come for maybe a week, and then we get into our full August fall practice. And so not as much summer prep as you would normally have, but we think it's counterbalanced by the team building and all that goes on the summer trip, makes up for the maybe not quite as much practice as we might normally have in the summer.
Well, I got to imagine there'll be some routes run there in the campgrounds, right? Maybe some conditioning and such, and some continuous football. I'm sure the boys will take full advantage of the campground time.
Yeah. Well, we mainly stay at schools now, but anytime we have a field access to a field, we'll go do that, and we might do a couple 7-on-7s while on the trip as well. Part of our thing, we're going to go to IMG Academy for a football camp down in Bradenton, Florida. So there's definitely football mixed into it, and so it'll be fun that way.
Yeah, it was a little difficult when we were on the Europe trip, coach. It was basically like, all right, push-ups and setups. That's all you can really do because you could be running around the streets of Venice and stuff. So good to have that USA trip. And so, man, staying at schools is a great advantage as well. So the boys will be ready. You guys will be working while educating yourselves, of course, on the historical aspects of the summer trip, right?
And it's funny now, you mentioned the campgrounds. Kids, they actually really look forward to going to a campground. It's like an adventure for them. Because we usually stay at either a church, gym, or a school. And so when they go to a campground, it's like a novel thing, and they think it's fun to put up a tent and stay outside and all that. So very much different than when we were doing them, probably when most of our listeners were going.
Yeah, we're 6-week trips, 8-week trips. You get rather tired of putting that tent up, putting it down, and sleeping on the ground. Hey, but that's what builds character for sure. All right, Mark, we're going to have you back before the summer trip leaves to kind of lay out again in detail where you guys are going, what the plan is. And then when you're back, I'll be having episodes all throughout the summer so that you guys can maybe even listen to them while you're gone as well. So great things ahead for the podcast, but I've wanted to do this schedule release for quite some time. So let's dive into it. What do you say?
Go.
All right, guys, here is the 2023 Rio Hondo Prep football schedule.
That's what I love about a high school football Friday night. Give me two.
All right, Coach Carson, right off the bat here, the way we're going to do things, we're going to do it in reverse order because generally, you know who your league opponents are, and we're going to save the opening game for the very end. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do it.
All right, man.
Sounds
All
good.
right. And a few tweaks to the season this year. Number one, you guys are actually playing in week 0 this year. There's 11 football weeks in high school football, 1 through 10, and then there's an added week 0. You guys are playing a 10-game schedule this year versus the 9-game schedule that you've had in the past. What kind of went into that?
We've done 9 games. I mean, when we're making our schedule, we always make it with the playoffs in mind, and we have to manage the schedule and manage the season so we survive it. And the past few years, our numbers have been such where our depth was just so depleted that we didn't have a lot of bodies to spare. And you're going to have some attrition in the season. Guys have to miss a week or 2 because of injury. And with this group, we have a lot of guys, and we're gonna have a lot of guys who can play varsity football. So we felt we could do it, and hopefully this is the norm moving forward.
Love it, man. Well, August 18th is the opener, week 0. We will get to that at the very end. Let's pull up the big board here, if we would. First time doing this, so bear with me, Coach. Let me see. We got that. Okay, so here we go, Coach Carson. You can see what I'm looking at here. Sorry, a little delay there. Coach, you there?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. So here we
it.
go, guys. Here's the Rio Hondo schedule, week 0 through 10. If you're not watching on our YouTube channel, if you are listening, the season first game is August 18th, week 0. The final game is October 27th in week 10. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to start at the bottom and work our way from there. We are going to make this red. We're going to do just a little change here real quick. Okay. So the 3 league teams, Coach Carson, if you would, first of all, just tell us the 3 league opponents, and then I'll put them on the board there, weeks 10 through 8, 9, and 10, since we know that's kind of how the season is. But talk to me about those 3 league opponents.
Yeah, so we'll start probably with the league favorite going into the next season is Brentwood, who will be a huge challenge. Their quarterback was our league offensive MVP. He returns, Boone Lord. He's a phenomenal player. We'll end up playing college quarterback somewhere, Division I college quarterback, a Power 5 type kid, and so he's going to be a handful. And that's going to be probably for league championship. You're going to have to knock him off and beat Brentwood. So looking forward to that challenge. Then we have Campbell Hall, who we've split the last 2 games with last 2 years. Both been really good games. They're Mathuti, their linebacker / running back, has already committed to Oregon, I believe. Another great football player. A lot of really good players in this league, and so there'll be a handful. Thankfully that's the one we get at home this year. And then Viewpoint, who's been down but has was really good in our middle school league this year. I think beat us by 4 or 5 touchdowns in middle school. Really good team, and their coach is building a program over there, kind of from the ground up, the way you should do it through middle school and JVs, and so they'll be better, and it'll be a challenging league schedule at the end. Knowing that you gotta finish to guarantee yourself a spot, you got to finish 1 or 2 in league, and so it's the only way to guarantee a spot in the playoffs.
Absolutely. And we knew it came down to that last game last year against Campbell Hall on the road. You guys were victorious, and then you were able to, Campbell Hall actually got in as well. So let's break that down. Similar to last year, you're finishing the season with the Campbell Hall Vikings. This game will be at home. The other two league games are on the road, but Campbell Hall at home to finish your season. That's got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Again, they'll have one of the best players in really Southern California playing for them on their team. It's fun watching he and Ryan go head to head this year. And I think our guy got the better of it actually, but he's a phenomenal player, and that'll be a big game for at least for second, maybe for first.
I
Yeah,
forgot
who knows?
I forgot that guy was a junior last year. He looked like a D1 player already. So that will be a challenge. So coach, the last two games of the year are arguably, I won't say you're tough. Well, maybe you're toughest on the schedule. Definitely the most important. Week 9 opponent, we mentioned a league play, will be Brentwood. And this time you guys will be on the road looking to seek a little revenge from kind of that blowout loss that they gave to you guys at home last year.
Yeah, I took it to us at our place last year, and this is our third year around playing in the Gold Coast League, and we'd beat them at their place the year before, rather handily. But this one will be kind of the rubber match against their QB, who's a 3-year starter now, and just a great program, great staff. Coach Ford over there at Brentwood does a really good job with his guys, and it'll be a definitely a game you don't want to miss. And if you're going to do a road trip this year, you want to go down there. Just leave early on a Friday because you could hit traffic there at on the 405. But yeah, get down there. It'll be a night game on October 20th.
October 20th, week 9. Can't wait for that one. Man, hopefully we're healthy at that point. But those are the two probably biggest, most important games of the year. At the end, of course, Brentwood and then Campbell Hall at home. We're going to go backwards again to week 8, and we know who that opponent will be in league play. That will be Viewpoint. I'll say this, Mark, similar to Brentwood, not necessarily an easy road trip. It's kind of a little bit of a hassle getting where is that, Calabasas? So talk to me about Viewpoint away in week 8.
Yeah. Calabasas. We were actually supposed to play them away last year, and they had they can't play on campus. And so they practice on campus and have a field. Used to play 8-man football on campus. But for whatever reason, I actually played 11-man there too. We played them a game there before.
Well, we might have frozen, guys. Hang on. Okay,
Yeah.
Coach is back. Sorry, there you are.
Where did I leave off?
We played an 11-man game there before, you said?
Yeah. And but for whatever reason, they can't host the game on campus anymore. And so getting a field for them is the issue. And so that game should be on the road somewhere on the west side part of town. But who knows, if they can't get a field again, we'd be happy to host. But that would be awesome. That'd give us 7 home games. But right now it's an away game and on a Friday night, but we'll see.
Well, you tipped your hand there that of the 10-game season, we do have 6 home games this year versus the traditional, 5-5 split. So plenty of opportunities to get to Rio Hondo there in Irwindale at Care Park and see the boys in action. So yeah, we'll see where that game is, whatever school it's going to be at. But week 8, the league opener, Viewpoint away, and week 7, the week before this, this is probably a good time to have this. This is a bye for you guys right before you go into those important league games. And of course it coincides with science camp as it does every year.
Yeah. After a 7 games in a row, it'll be nice to have that bye. And the administration does a great job working with us on that. We used to take the bye earlier, but then it'd be harder to find a game later in the season when everyone's in league. And so moving the bye back really helps us scheduling wise, because you get to week 7, but by sometimes week 6, everyone's in league, so it's almost impossible to find a game. And so doing this way, week 7 really gives us that bye, and it gets us kind of healthy, rested up for the biggest 3 games of the year.
Definitely. And, Viewpoint, I mean, we said, they're usually down and Rio Hondo's kind of took it to them the past few years. So I think it's good to have the bye before that game to kind of get the boys a little fired up for to get back on the field. Right. And because maybe there's an emotional letdown sometimes when you play a team that you're probably supposed to beat, but sometimes teams compete and will knock you around. So I think the bye is good there. Learn a little geology and survival or whatever you guys do at the camps and get ready for the last 3 games of the season.
Right. And, we're always planning ahead long-term, and it is, if you go 4 games in the playoffs, it's actually a bye right in the middle of your season. So 7 before, 7 after. So thinking that way as well. But, yeah.
I like it. Always working. Okay. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting. Again, we're going in reverse order. We knew the league teams. We knew the bye would kind of be during Science Week there. Let's go into this September football, man. The last game of September. I saw this team and I did not know who they were. You had to explain it to me. So if you would talk to me about who Kings Academy is and where they're from.
Kings Academy's from Sunnyvale, California, Bay Area. They reached out to us. Our games, our open dates, we're on the CIF has a website where you can post open games that other schools can see. It's not necessarily for the general public, but other school coaches, administrators can see that, ADs and stuff. And so look at these postings, and we reach out to schools. Just gauge interest, and schools reach out to us. And this was one of those that reached out to us, Kings Academy, and they wanted to make it a weekend. So they're going to come down here, do Disneyland or whatever on the following Saturday or Sunday. And so we looked them up, because you don't want to schedule a team out of the area if it's not going to be a good game. And to me, they look very comparable to Brentwood. So I think it'll be a great test for us that way. And, on either side, you don't want them to come here and blow us out, and they don't want to come this far and blow somebody out either. I think you want a good game. So I think it'll be a really good game. They made it to the playoffs last year. I think they finished 8-3. Well-coached team, and it'll be a fun game, fun travel, fun time to host them. And we look forward to hosting them at Rio.
Well, we got to learn that SoCal spell out so we can, represent Southern California. And Coach, I got to ask, as far as your Rio Hondo history maybe goes, is this a team? Let's see, they're coming from the Bay Area. I know we've played teams in Central California and things. Is this an opponent that's the furthest distance we've ever played? It's got to be, right?
I believe so. I think maybe Morro Bay was the next closest. Morro Bay. We played Templeton in the past, but I think these guys are the furthest, furthest north and furthest opponent to ever, the furthest traveling opponent to ever come play Rio.
Hey, maybe this is the start, Coach, of Rio ending up on ESPN playing some team from Montana or something someday,
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's cool. And we think it's a good game for our program. And I think it's something that our fans will get something different, that I think both schools will benefit from. And I think it's just a good program building game.
Who knows? It could be the start of a friendly rivalry, maybe a friendship, a home and home. You never know what it could lead to. So hopefully that's a fun one there to wrap up the month of September. Okay, the week before to week 5, people will recognize this city, this school name. This seems to be like a rather big high school. Mark, you guys are going to be hosting Torrance High School. Talk to me about that opponent in week 5.
So yeah, like I said, this was a space vacated by, I believe, Savannah High School, who owed us a home date, but they backed out of that contract. We went down there last year, and they just refused to honor their contract. I don't know what else to say. And so we had to put this on the CIF website, and Torrance High School reached out. Just so our fans know, we reached out to multiple schools as well. It works both ways. Everyone posts, and including some local public schools who we thought would be a good fit. good opponents, but they didn't want to play us. But Torrance is a good sized public school, a little further away in the San Gabriel Valley. And they're going to come to us. So look forward to hosting them, and should be a good game, judging by who they have coming back and looking at their roster. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, one of those rather large public schools that in recent years, Rio Hondo has not been afraid to throw on the schedule. So that should be good football talent down in that area in the South Bay generally. So should be a tough opponent. Again, a home game, which is nice. And the week before, in week 4, we get a very familiar face. The Boron Bobcats come to us this year. And just the friendly rivalry continues after you guys went up there last year and beat them pretty handily. But the Boron Bobcats come to town in week 4.
Yeah, people around the program or fans or will ask, why do we keep playing around the school? Why do we keep playing Boron? And my answer is, well, they'll play us. It takes time and it's not always easy to find opponents who will play you. And Boron, whether they're good or not, will play you. And they're going to come and hit, be physical. And so I appreciate about Rob and their program and how they don't back down. And they're going to play us. And so I want to honor that fact that, they hosted us last year and we'll play them this year. So we appreciate that from Boron. And yeah, it's turned into I don't know how many times we played them, 12, 13 times. So it's a good rivalry.
Well, it was a rather fun episode last year talking with Coach Rob Kostanopoulos. Just so many great things to say. So many fans love that interview and just getting an insight into the program. So yes, can't wait to see those guys. And I don't know, we got to throw together some pizzas or something for those guys for their long trip home, Coach.
Yeah, we should. Anyone who's traveling that far, we should do something like that for them. Maybe our boosters will get on that. Well, yeah, we'll see. And they're redoing their football stadium. They're doing a brand new stadium up there. So next time we visit, it'll be brand new. So that'll be fun. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, driving in the middle of the desert on a Friday afternoon up to Boron. I don't know. It's something peaceful about it. I enjoyed it last year. So we do it every other year. No big deal. But they come to us this year.
That's right.
That looks like 3 home games in a row there, Mark, weeks 4 through 6, but there's actually another home game before that. So you guys are going 4 straight home games. Week 3, September 8th, you guys will host Marquez. Who are they? Where are they from?
They're a city section school. Again, made it to the city section playoffs. I think they finished maybe 9-3 or 8-4, something like that. It's a newer school. They were, I think, founded maybe in 2011, 12, something like that. And seemed like a well-run program, very organized. And, with them and even Torrance, I was kind of thinking the same thing. You don't have a long relationship with schools like this. And we got burned by Savannah. I was going to say, so I said, hey, we'll play you, but we're going to play you home the first time and then go to you the second time. And with our league schedule, 2 away, 1 home, it'll work out next year. And then the Kings Academy game, who knows if we're going back up there. You always got to worry about balance because you don't want to have a schedule where you have 3 home games either in 10 weeks. But yeah, they're coming to us. And that way, if them or Torrance, someone you don't know really well, I'm not saying, I think from all I can tell, they're great people. But if they happen to back out, then they back out, they lose their home game, not us losing a home game. So that's kind of the philosophy behind that, but I think it'll be a fun game. Yeah.
Awesome. So we got a team from the Bay Area in the northern section, North Coast, whatever it's called. Now we have a city section team who you guys have some experience with. You played that last minute game 2 years ago, I believe, out in
Verdugo Hills.
Verdugo Hills.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was out there. So Bay Area city section, Boron, who's in the central section now, I think. So some diversity here for the the schedule.
Yeah, I think it makes it fun. We would prefer to play local teams, but again, we're going to play who we can play and who will play us. I think like you said, it gives us a good look at different style of football, and you play teams from other areas. It's kind of fun, and like you said, the SoCal spell out. You're kind of representing SoCal, and even more so the San Gabriel Valley. So that makes it fun when you play out of the area team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Rio Hondo brand needs to grow some way, and that's a good way to do it. The final 3 games we're going to mention are the first 3 games of the season. Again, going in reverse order. 3 games I am really looking for, the entire schedule, but these 3 in particular. In week 2, September 1st, Mark, you guys have the shortest road trip of your season. You're going to El Monte, on the road at El Monte. Talk to me about that one.
Right. Yeah. So we hosted them last year. It was a good game, and they wanted to play again. So we're looking forward to going, right down Peck Road there and playing them again. And we appreciate them agreeing to play us second year. And I think it'll be a great game. Another well-coached team. And, for our fans' perspective, it doesn't get much easier making it to a game than that one. And so, yeah, you have our 4 home games in a row there. But as far as travel wise, for some, it might even be closer to go to El Monte than it is to Irwindale. So it's almost like playing 5 home dates in a row with the proximity anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say there's bad blood or anything, but they definitely have a sour taste in their mouth of how we took it to them last year. So we'll see how they respond. They definitely don't want to go 2 and Q, if you know what I mean. So that El Monte Stadium, I do know one side of bleachers, or one, just on the home side. So the visiting bleachers a little small, but hey, the Cares will make it work.
Yeah, we'll make it work. And natural grass field, which we like. And again, the convenience, meet at, and we can meet up out to eat a game or whatever, just like normal. It's like a home game. And really how it's set up, I like getting in the rhythm of multiple home games in a row. And then I like people like, oh, you want to play 2 road games in a row? Is that tough? It's actually not that bad because you get in the same rhythm. It's the same rhythm of the week. And so I like stacking home and stacking road games. It's kind of counterintuitive. You think maybe you want to go home away, but I actually prefer a little rhythm to the season, and getting a rhythm that way by playing multiple home games in a row and multiple away games.
No, that's really good. That's interesting that you look at it that way. It makes sense. And yeah, you would think it would go the other way. So just a little insightful there for the fans, for not only head coach Carson, but the athletic director as well. All right, coach. First 2 games of the year. This is August football. It's going to be warm. One is a home game. One is an away game. We'll get to week 0 at the very end, but I haven't seen one team on this schedule yet that we usually do see. And I'm hoping, let's see, week 1, the home opener, yes, will be against the Pasadena Poly Panthers. The rivalry continues at home this year. Pasadena Poly, week 1, August 25th for our home opener.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one. Our 56th meeting with Poly. Great rivalry, great program. And we're looking forward to playing them. We did kind of take it to them this year, so I think they'll be ready to go and looking forward to the challenge. And so that'll be a great way to kick off the season at home. And we hope we have a huge crowd for that. And it'll be a lot of fun. Those games always are.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I can't wait. What a way to start. I loved when you guys opened the season against Poly. I think that's better almost than the end of the season, since you guys aren't in the same league anymore. And it's like you can build up all summer, hey, beat Poly or whatever. But to have your first home game be Pasadena Poly, I mean, the fans, you guys got to come out for that one. I mean, what a way to kick off the season, to host those Panthers that we respectfully dislike.
Right. Yeah. The black and orange rivalry. Love seeing it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, can't wait. That is a home opener. Get your tickets now for that one. But Mark, there's one final game we got to cover, and it is your very next game. It is week 0. It's on the road. We'll say that. August 18th. I will say, how else can we? Well, let's see. It's gonna be a little bit of a road trip here. So let me build this up a little bit more, Coach, to where Rio is headed. week 0.
Sometimes
Where's Rio Hondo Prep headed?
our lives go and question who we used to
I can tell you this, it's going to be exciting. I'm already pumped.
Sometimes I feel like
We are going to get into this.
in between
Rio Hondo Prep on the road
bread and gasoline.
to open the 2023 season.
I can't sleep, 'cause what if I dream of going back to San Diego? We bought a one-way ticket so we can go see
Rio Hondo Prep will open the 2023
your favorite songs in the parking lot.
Francis Parker down in San Diego, California. Coach Carson talked to me about the road trip and opening the year down in San Diego.
Yeah, really looking forward to this game. We played Parker, I think it was back in 2011, 2012, a back-to-back, a home and home, and they beat us in, we played down there, and then we beat them at home the next year. Great tradition, small school power down there. I think they won 6 or 7 San Diego section CIF championships. Really good facilities. Everyone will get be very impressed by their setup at their school. It is an artificial surface, but really nice, really well done. We were just down there for a soccer game, and that's actually when we made the game. I talked to their AD, and we kind of going back and forth before the soccer game, and we said, "Hey, let's see if we can make this football game work." And we had to move some things around. They had to move some things around, but we made it happen. And I think another great high profile game for our program. And then it adds, gives us the 4th different CIF section that we'll go off play against this year. You already have from the Bay Area, Central section, City section, now San Diego section team. So we will have a really good idea where we stand in the whole state after this schedule's done. And starting off in San Diego at the end of everybody's summer, again, we expect a huge turnout from our fans who why not make that road trip? Make it a nice weekend down there, maybe the end of your summer vacation or something, and come out and support our HB.
Well, that's a huge reason we wanted to release this episode so early so that people can plan accordingly for it. I know my scheduling and vacation stuff is coming out for my job. And so August 18th is highlighted, scheduled, circled, and all that. I've already done some research, Coach Carson. Francis Parker, not too far from the train station in Old Town. If the folks want some alternative transportation, I'm going to make a weekend out of it. What a fun way to kick off the season. Did you guys know that week 0 was really the perfect spot to have this game?
Yeah, I mean, you have the Labor Day weekend, which is in there too, but no one's in school yet, and with week 0, it works even better than Labor Day weekend because you can get down there early if you want. You could stay an extra day or 2 and make a family trip out of it. And the school is really close to downtown with all the great hotels, restaurants, and so forth to take advantage of. And then whether you drive out to the school or take the train out, either way, it would be a fun time. And so we anticipate a lot of our families. We're not staying down as a team. The bus will come back, but a lot of our families, we anticipate the kids staying down there and with their families and enjoying the weekend.
Well, and what's really cool is that for people that live a little farther away, if you can't make it to Rio Hondo can come to you. A few names come to mind. I know Colby Rivera. I think Parker Barrett. A few guys are down there in San Diego, so they better be there bright and early. I know that Rob Bazuzzi lives down in South Orange County. Maybe an easier drive for him. Fred Monteblanco in Lake Elsinore. Okay, not around the corner, but still a little closer maybe for some of our alumni that are down that way.
Yeah. There's more than down there. I think top of my head, Robbie Hanna lives down there, Kevin Horton. So we're bringing the football to you guys. No excuses now. And we expect our San Diego Alumni Association to represent well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to see if I can throw something together. Maybe, hey, all the fans meet at a restaurant before the game or something. Well, we're going to figure this out. It's going to be an awesome way to start the season with a fun road trip. taking all of Friday off
Yep.
for sure, the end of the summer, and then Pasadena Poly the next week. So, Mark, because I don't have much of a, no, I have a life. I'm just kidding. We are facing this year Lancers, Panthers, Lions, Gladiators, Bobcats, Tartars, Knights, Patriots, Eagles, and Vikings. No repeats, I think, on there. So you guys got a lot of mascots you're up against this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun schedule, and I think our guys are really looking forward to it. I know our parents are, our fans, hopefully as well. Tried to put together a schedule that is both challenging, interesting, and at the same time, it's a schedule that we can survive. Because we got to make sure we're our body staying in shape and that we can survive the season. So it's not easy to do. It's a challenge to get it right. And Coach Drain before me, and since I've been doing it, we really work hard on these schedules to make it that way. So hope everybody comes out and supports.
I can't wait, man. And you and I have chatted for a few weeks about this and finalizing everything. And I'm just glad that it's pen to paper now that we have broadcasted it. It's official, and we got baseball and other sports to get through. But I don't know, this kind of ignites the spark really for the season and the interest, and of course, scheduling in reaction to the schedule.
Right. I hope our, like you said, our fans have time to plan for any of those road games and even home games. What games they would like to pick out and go to would be great. So our fans, alumni, parents, they're really the kind of the common thread that goes through our program every year. We have that support, and the guys, I could tell you, from being on the sideline and talking to the guys, they really appreciate it, and they recognize the fact that our fans always turn out, and home game, road game, and we're always there. And yeah, Matt, thank you for bringing the attention to it and hyping up our program, because it helps drive interest and get our kids that recognition that they deserve, and that I think that helps us win football games.
Happy to do it. And I love the other sports, but there's just nothing quite like football and football season. So that's where our focus is. And very excited in final review of the 11 weeks. Rio Hondo has 10 games. Their bye week comes in week 7 for science camp right before the final 3 league games, 2 of those on the road and 1 at home. The longest road trip of the year is Francis Parker to start the season down in San Diego. The shortest road trip is El Monte, which is just around the corner from Rio Hondo. 4 home games in a row before the bye week, 7 home games overall. No, 6 home games and 4 road games. So all in all, Mark, you're pretty pleased with the final product here after months of your hard work?
Yeah, I think we're really happy with it. Like I said, I think it's going to put our guys in a position to compete every week, but have challenges as well built in. We also think with the CIF playoff system, it should hopefully put us in a good spot come playoffs. But even that's too far down the road and too hard to fully wrap your head around. So we just try to do the best we can, and then whatever happens with the playoffs. But we think we made a schedule that's conducive to getting us where we should be in the playoffs too.
Well, since you mentioned it, I have it written down. Let's just throw these dates out there just because, not predicting anything, just throwing them out there. First round of the playoffs is November 3rd, second round November 10th, semifinals November 17th, and the CIF finals will be the Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving on November 24th or 25th. So just for people to write down as well, because you never know how deep Rio Hondo will be playing.
Yeah, and man, I was driving around during I think it was the semifinal weekend this year, and drove by a local high school, and they were playing a playoff game. And when I got to my destination, I texted our coaches something to the effect of, if we're not playing this time next year, I'm going to kill myself. So hopefully we're playing we're playing in November, but yeah, hopefully we're playing late November because we're due.
Well, I'll say this, Coach, it's 2023. This season will be the 50th anniversary of Rio Hondo's first CIF championship back in 1973. So I don't know what that means. Hopefully some good vibes, but I don't know, some type of poetic theater, we'll say. I think, I don't know, we'll correlate it somehow,
awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. And just FYI, we do plan to do something to honor that championship team. And I think we're going to have a champions night at one of our home games. I haven't picked out which one yet. We invite all the championship teams to come out. So we'll figure that out too. And we'll make sure you get that, Matt, and get on that.
Oh, it's going to be fun, man. Never too early to talk football. We'll have you back maybe towards the end of baseball. Hopefully a playoff run there. We'll cover that. But then once that's over, summer trip, and it's football time, man. We'll be talking as much as we can and bringing on alumni and everything to make this season as exciting as possible. Thanks for joining me, Mark. Stay warm out there. I know it's family time for you, so thanks for doing this, and can't wait, man. Well done on the schedule.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Appreciate you.
Talk to you soon, man. Go Rio.
Go Rio.
Well, how fun was that? The football season is not here yet, but it sure feels like it is. We have started talking about the 2023 season with the schedule release. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Rio Hondo is only on the road 4 times this year, but the San Diego opener, I'm telling you, is a game that I'd really like to see a lot of people get out to. Let's start the season off right, show the support, and make that a weekend to remember. Just wanted to pull up the schedule one more time here for you guys. There it is, your 2023 Rio Hondo Prep football schedule. Week 0, August 18th at Francis Parker down in San Diego. Week 1, August 25th, hosting Pasadena Poly in the home opener. The rivalry continues. Week 2, September 1st, we travel to El Monte High School for the second matchup in 2 years against the El Monte Lions. A nice short trip there. September 8th, week 3, we host Marquez, who is a city section team that we don't know a whole lot about, but another challenge with another team from another different section there against Marquez in what is the first of 4 straight home games for Rio. In week 4, September 15th, Rio will host Boron, our friends from the high desert, as they come into town this year. And it'll be good to see those guys. And I'm sure a very competitive game, as is always the case. In week 5 on September 22nd, we are playing Torrance High School, a rather big public school that comes to town. So that'll be a tough challenge for Rio, as you don't know much about that team. You just know that it is a school that has a rather large enrollment, and I'm sure will be a challenge for the Cares in week 5. On September 29th in week 6, Rio hosts Kings Academy from the Bay Area, as they were making the long trip down here. A North Coast team, or a northern section team, not sure exactly, but a team from way up there, and arguably an opponent that is probably in Rio's history is the furthest traveled opponent down here, as far as I know, but I'm sure the Rio historians can fact check me on that. In week 7 is the bye week, as the team will go to science camp in their respective science locations in different cities and such, Wrightwood and Arizona and everything. And then we open up league play, the final 3 weeks of the season, weeks 8, 9, and 10, October 13th, 20th, and 27th, with games at Viewpoint, at Brentwood. Viewpoint, of course, up in the Calabasas area, Brentwood out there in West LA. And then the final game of the year, hosting Campbell Hall, to probably determine a playoff spot if all things are considered there. So some great opponents on the schedule, some rather historical opponents in Boron and Pasadena Poly, but some fun ones there with Francis Parker. Can't think of a better way to start the 2023 season, excuse me. And I hope you guys can make that trip. If not, there's plenty of home games, and of course that short road game to El Monte that really is basically another home game for Rio as well. So plenty of things to be excited about. Hey, this is no time to look past softball and baseball and boys volleyball. But for now, we have the schedule on paper, on the calendar, on your refrigerator. It's ready to go, and so are we. So let's hope for a successful spring sports seasons from the boys and girls out there, but once summer hits, we'll be diving in, as we did last year, to RHP football, talking about the past, honoring the future, and honoring the past and building for the future, if you would say. And can't wait for that. The boys will be gone on a summer trip, but I'm going to have weekly content for you guys starting in the month of June, probably, as we build up for that very first game down in San Diego on August 18th against Francis Parker. There's no excuses. You've been notified plenty in advance to those San Diego alumni down there. You know who you are. It's up to you guys to make sure that you rally the troops and get out to the most important game of 2023, because it's the next one, and every game after that is the most important one. So we hope to see everybody there. Hope everyone is staying dry and warm out there. It is rather chilly weather here in Southern California at the end of February, but March is right around the corner, starting next week, and just another month closer to the start of the 2023 football season. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope to see you very soon, but if not, I better see you all down in San Diego. Let's jump on that freeway and head south for the first game of the 2023 season. Rio Hondo Prep at Francis Parker, August 18th. See you in San Diego, everybody.